Huh? What?
Keeping Up with the Kardashians is full of fun family antics.
Is that a little pig?
Lavish vacations.
My diamond earring came off in the ocean and it's gone.
And of course, intensely intimate moments.
And that's the thing, you both are not.
Sometimes this show really doesn't hold back when it comes to revealing the private lives of these public figures. Kourtney turns 40.
Just because it's like, it gives me anxiety.
In the lead up to her 40th birthday, Kourtney Kardashian tearfully admitted to her sister Khloe that she was struggling. Between her projects like Poosh and spending time with her family, Kourtney felt spread thin and anxious about the future.
I feel like I want to cry. Why?
Talking about your inner turmoil and mental health isn't easy, and it's even harder when your life is so public.
Kourtney is about to turn 40 years old, and she's not dealing with it too well.
Hosts of The View were quick to mock Kourtney for expressing her feelings and implied that since she's wealthy, she shouldn't have any anxiety.
There are people that can't feed their children. I do not feel bad for her.
Yeah, because that's definitely how that works.
Conversation is over.
It's a boy. Few people can experience a pregnancy as privately as Kylie Jenner, and her sister Kim definitely isn't one of them, even though she hired a gestational carrier.
Do you know who I think our informant is? North.
Kim admitted she was forced to come clean on Keeping Up with the Kardashians earlier than she would have liked because her daughter Northwest was simply too excited about having a new brother to keep a secret.
Baby number 4 on the way?
Baby number 4 on the way.
Kim has been publicly shamed in the past for admitting that her high-risk pregnancies were less than fun, so we don't blame her for wanting to keep this quiet as long as possible. Kim confessed she wasn't sure the pregnancy would take and that getting ready for little Psalm was a surreal experience.
I can't believe you're gonna have another kid running around. It's gonna be insane.
I'm so excited.
True's first birthday. Season 17 of Keeping Up with the Kardashians gives us a glimpse at little True's first birthday party.
Tristan, I think he's coming soon.
Khloe extended an olive branch by inviting Tristan for the sake of their daughter, but Kim wasn't happy about how he behaved. She went off about him flat out ignoring Khloe, who was the only reason he was there in the first place. When True was born, Kim said she would stay cordial for her sake, but that seems to be getting more and more difficult and much harder to hide. MJ's health scare. Kris Jenner is known for being a tough-as-nails momager, but that doesn't mean she doesn't have an emotional side.
I'm like, what?
When her mother, Mary Jo Shannon, came down with a nasty chest infection, Kris was absolutely terrified. She had lost both her biological father and her stepdad in the past, and the idea of saying goodbye to her mother was just too much. This tapped into what many fans know is her greatest fear.
Just losing someone.
Thankfully, MJ got better, but this was still a way scarier situation than we're used to seeing on reality TV. Gabbana. The Kardashian-Jenner family loves one another, and they also have an array of four-legged companions they dote on as well. Gabbana grew up with Kylie and Kendall, and when Kris and Caitlyn divorced, Khloe offered to take in the family's beloved dog. Sadly, this faithful pet developed a tumor in her heart which made her too weak to even stand. Khloe was forced to make the merciful decision to end her old friend's pain and suffering.
I have Gabbana's ashes.
Oh yeah.
Since she was 7 months pregnant at the time, she believes Gabbana held on long enough to ensure she wouldn't be alone because she would soon be joined by her daughter, True. No, we're not crying, we just have something in our eyes.
And I was like, why? I don't even like dogs, but I was hysterically crying over
You secretly
Gabbana.
loved her.
Kim's return to Paris. Everyone knows about Kim Kardashian's traumatic experience of being robbed while visiting Paris.
Slid off my bed and picked up my phone, and I'm like, I don't know how to call 911 in a different country.
The event was not only horrific for Kim, but for her husband Kanye West, who felt helpless to protect his beloved wife. Kim returning to Paris for the first time after the robbery was a big deal, and of course we couldn't stop watching.
Whatever, we just need security at our door when we get out.
Kourtney versus Kendall. For the past couple of years, Kendall has struggled to connect to her big sister Kourtney. Kendall tried to reach out to her older sibling by including her on a trip, but ended up feeling disrespected. As far as her side of the story goes, Kourtney felt Kendall was being too uptight and she was just trying to have fun. But eventually, both sisters agreed Khloe's attempts to mediate just made things worse.
Chloe exaggerated her story. You exaggerating it to her?
And they should have just talked to each other directly. Oops, apparently this is one private moment that should have stayed that way. Khloe's migraines.
Just my migraine.
Khloe Kardashian suffered from debilitating migraines she worried might be indicative of a deeper issue. She was even forced to consider the possibility that she was pregnant again and what that would mean for her future. Ultimately, both the MRI and pregnancy test came back negative, but this was still a scary situation to go through, especially in front of so many cameras.
It was really horrible.
Kim's psoriasis. Kim might be known for her good looks, but that doesn't mean she doesn't struggle with her self-esteem. One frequent issue in her life is her psoriasis, and she's done just about everything to address the issue, and we do mean everything. She's applied special spring water from Costa Rica, as well as some very special milk courtesy of her sister Kourtney. Kim was so desperate at one point that she consulted a medical medium who is not a medical doctor, and the jury is still out on the medium part.
I wore a skirt so you could see all my psoriasis.
Yeah.
That's my big spot.
Kim's hoping for real answers, but instead she's just instructed to try drinking
Celery juice is going to neutralize that copper. Your psoriasis will start going away.
childhood issues. Kourtney going to therapy caused a ton of drama on the show, but it also started healing a rift between mother and daughter.
I think that she's going through a phase in her life where she has some anger inside.
In a brutally honest scene, Kourtney confronts Kris about not always being there for her when she was growing up. Kourtney was close to her late father, Robert Kardashian Sr., and felt Kris never tried to connect with her. It's an admission which is painful for both parties, but thankfully, mother and daughter agreed to work on it together. Breaking news. After Tristan Thompson cheated on Khloe for the first time, well, that we know of, she decided to give him another chance.
There's video of Tristan making out with a girl last night.
Yeah, we all know how that worked out. Not only was Khloe betrayed by True's father, but by someone she considered part of the family.
So Jordan said that they did make out.
As if that wasn't bad enough, she also had to deal with this deeply personal situation on Keeping Up with the Kardashians, where we got to see everyone finding out. The phone call. Let's be honest, we've all dealt with a breakup badly at one point or another, but thankfully it didn't happen on camera. Khloe can't say the same, and we even got to see her make an inebriated phone call with her now ex Tristan Thompson. But while Tristan and Jordyn Woods obviously earned her ire, even her own mother wasn't safe. When Khloe found out Kris had known about the Red Table Talk interview in advance, well, let's just say she didn't take it well.
My family was ruined!
Predictions. Fans of the show know Kim and Khloe love dabbling in the supernatural. On their trip to Bali, the sisters visited a palm reader who revealed something surprising about, funnily enough, Kim's son Psalm. The palm reader revealed Kim would have a boy and that her son would be the reincarnation of her late father, Robert Kardashian Sr.
Nobody knows that Kim's having a fourth child.
The move. Whether you love him or hate him, you have to admit Kanye West is pretty much a professional when it comes to making surprising statements. Sometimes he even manages to stun his own wife, like when he announced the family was moving to Chicago.
He is thinking of moving to Chicago.
The only problem was that he didn't run this by his wife, who absolutely did not want to go.
You can't move to Chicago. Your whole family's here.
She confessed her feelings on her reality show, admitting this was a serious breaking point in their relationship. This was a side of their relationship we usually don't get to see. Confrontations. It's no secret that most of the Kardashian-Jenner family doesn't know quite what to make of Kris's much younger boyfriend, Corey Gamble.
I feel like how parents must feel with their kids.
But things got rocky when Kanye elevated the situation by texting Corey that he was suspicious of him because nobody in the family besides Kris really knows him. While it seems like Kim and her sisters agreed with Kanye's sentiment, they weren't totally confident about how he handled it.
Like, we've never met his family.
That's weird.
Soulmates. Having a spiritualist find your soulmate should be exciting unless it happens to be your ex.
That we were together and that we're soulmates.
That's exactly what happened to Scott and Kourtney when they went to Bali for this awkward encounter. But interestingly enough, both Kourtney and Scott agreed, although this doesn't mean they're getting back together.
I was just trying to take my mind off of you.
Instead, they want to let their mutual love help them work better as co-parents rather than romantic partners. An unexpected invite. One of Kris's many talents is party planning, and she loves hosting her annual Christmas Eve bash.
Because it's kind of like this older party
Not only does Kim take over the party, but she also invites Kris's ex, Caitlyn Jenner, who she wasn't on good terms with at the time. This causes a lot of drama, and Khloe even tried to convince Kim to rescind Caitlyn's invitation. We wonder how Caitlyn felt when she saw this behind-the-scenes peek at party planning. That is, if she still keeps up with the Kardashians.
It's just a party.
I know, but it's not just a party, it's changing of the guards.
The hamster. Kim has a lot on her plate and doesn't appreciate it when Khloe tries to pile more on in the form of a hamster. Kim is livid, and even more so when the hamster tragically passed away.
I don't have time for a dead hamster.
She and Khloe swapped out the hamster with a look-alike, and North was none the wiser. However, many of the fans watching weren't so easily fooled and disagreed with how Kim and Khloe handled the situation. Career aspirations. Did you know Kim Kardashian didn't grow up dreaming of becoming a reality TV star? She used to want to follow in her father's footsteps and become a lawyer, but the late Robert Kardashian Sr. actually discouraged her from doing so. He thought it would be too tough on Kim, but now she's ready to open up about her interest in the justice system and making a difference.
Kim Kardashian West wants to become a lawyer.
Yes.
True Thompson. Not everyone can pull out their own baby with a camera crew in the room like Kourtney did with Mason, but True's arrival was still covered in a meaningful way. Actually giving birth on camera was too private for Khloe to share, but allowing the camera crew in her hospital room at all is a big deal.
I think she looks just like Tristan.
Do you think any of these moments were too private to be shared with fans of the show? Tell us if you think any of these were over the line overshares in the comment section below, and then click on the subscribe button for more videos from us here at The Taco. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.